I have an idea, and it is to take two of these little wedges that I cut, and basically, set these right about like that. This one actually might be too much, but basically like this, so that instead of half of this image here being, you know, the shell, half of it being out, they will mount to this, and this is going to be poor man's fiberglass, and they'll paint. They'll basically go from this to right about, let's see, right about there. Oh, I guess that is about the right angle. Yesterday when Emma got back, I was able to grab the DeWalt battery and run the jigsaw. That was pretty loud. I didn't realize how freaking loud it was. So instead of making a perfect second one, I got another one that should probably do the trick. It's enough to stick VHB or Velcro on. I think this time though, instead of having it down here, I think I'm going to run it up high. Yeah, so we'll put the awning in, run it up there. If you're not familiar with what poor man's fiberglass is, it is basically wood, get it all sanded down and whatever, and then you can use Type Bond 2 or 3, I'm going to use 3, and so you get a good layer on the product, on the item, and then you take some fabric, put that over, and then you do another layer. Let that dry, continue that process until you have a few layers. So you can do anywhere between like 2 and 6 layers, right? Actually, they used to do boats where they would do something very similar, but they would just use paint. So paint would, you'd seal wood with paint. So. But the idea is it's waterproof and it's significantly stronger. I actually tried this in Bailey and it worked out all right. I just didn't have like a function for the piece, so but it worked. It was just once you add enough wood glue layers, you can go ahead and sand it, make it all real smooth, and then paint it. So that's kind of a neat thing. Let me go ahead. I've got some sandpaper. Let me smooth these guys out, and I don't have any brushes, so I might use like a paper towel or something like that and just smoosh it on. And I need something to put it all on. Now, I'm sure I need like a sanding block. That's what I need. And this is 220. Huh. I'm sure there's probably another product out there that's actually already plastic, but I can't think of it right offhand. And of course, once you're done with the project, then you find a better, you know, something kind of better suited to it, but I think this will do the trick. Yeah. Now, as of yesterday, though, we've received everything we need for our solar truck mount, other than what we're going to order from a store, or pick up at a store. But we are missing one order that was canceled. But the thing that we're missing is actually some lock washers. So some of the lock washers. Yeah, we're missing those, unfortunately. I don't know. It just said they were out of stock, but it was... Usually you can't order things, and yeah, I don't know, maybe they had an inventory issue, but... Anyways, we ran to the store, and we needed like 108 of some things. And so I ordered like 100 on Amazon, and then we went to a McClendon's store and ordered 8 more of certain bolts, lock washers, and flange nuts. So thankfully they had those, and thankfully they had them in grade 8, because you really don't want like some of your hardware being like grade 5, some grade 8, and then in the back of my mind I'm always like, ooh, did that bump just like, you know, you're like double checking those ones in particular. But yeah, I'll have a whole list and all that good stuff for you guys, as I've done in the past. It's actually going to be surprisingly similar to what we've done with our bus, although I think we might be using more bolts, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, 108 bolts. That's a lot. It might have been overkill. But, you know, it is interesting, though, because trying to buy the same amount from Lowe's or Home Depot would have cost probably 3 times more. Whereas you can buy basically the exact same, from everything that I'm seeing in reviews and such, you can buy the same exact stuff off of Amazon. Alright. It's not perfect, but some of this stuff like that, you can see that valley there, some of that you can actually fill with wood glue. So apparently Yeah, let me see if I can knock some of this down a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough. Let's see. Do not stress joints for 24 hours. Glue, use when temperature, glue, and materials are above 45. I think we're fine. It says minimum of 30 minutes for clamping. Let me go grab some scissors though, and fabric. Okay. This way. I'll cut off the excess, but I need to apply a little bit of, let's see, a little bit of glue first. See, this might not be the best way to do this, but okay. Get on the sides and the back. And the front. Okay. You can get these to the point that you can sand them afterwards as well. Oh yeah, see, I've got a lot of excess right there. But the end is so thick too. So let me scoot it down. I'll just trim that off. Trim like that. Okay. Ugh. At least wood glue is not like super glue. And there's probably somebody who has done poor man's fiberglass a lot and is like, what the hell are you doing? You're insane. Okay. All right. Yeah, these look like crap, but it's my crap. I'll let them sit here for a little while and see if that stays. Our neighbor on this side came over just a little bit ago, actually, when I was starting this project, and said, hey, I just hope I didn't disturb you last night. And I'm like, no. She goes, yeah, I think she said she like slammed the door or something like that, but she was then outside on this side, and she's like, then I saw your security camera light come on, and then I shined my light into the window, and then I heard, oh really? And I'm like, kind of a funny thing. But I'm like, no, we didn't, which we didn't hear. We didn't hear. If we did hear it, it didn't like stand out. Like one of those things. And you expect that people are getting in and out of their cars around us. We're very much used to that. And I'm starting to like recognize that like these are the little things that we've never had to put up with. It's an interesting thing where like somebody should have to worry about us being too loud or us being too loud, right? We don't have to really. We've never had to worry about that. But she goes, yeah. She goes, what's the deal with the camera, basically? And she's like, the other day it looked like it was pointed over here. And I'm like, oh no, this is just like a dummy camera from the office, because when the one camera was stolen, they gave us that. And she's like, I'm like, no, it's like pointed this way. And she's like, oh. She thought, and I was like, no, the only reason these are out here is just, these are just motion detectors that we're testing out. They're motion detector lights, I should say. And I was like, and interestingly, they all, even though they're all these little solar panels are facing different directions, they're all in really good shape, to my surprise. So I should probably put them like this. And she's like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I thought I disturbed you guys. I was like, no. And I hate that. I hate that somebody feels like they would be disturbing us just by living their life. I really hate that. And that's part of the reason that we don't like to live near people, is that there are folks that are like super sensitive to like, oh, I heard a noise at this hour, now I can't get back to, these types of things where we don't, that's just not how we live. I think it's been more than 9 years now that I've lived in a way, other than here, that we really haven't had to worry about it. Even when we've mooch docked, we've tried to stay far enough away that we're not going to bother anybody. Or, I'm trying to think, I mean, you stay with when you stay with family, it's one of, it might be a little bit different if you're in their house, but it's an interesting thing. I've really taken that, maybe even taken it for granted, and just not recognized consciously that that is potentially an issue. I did think it was funny though. She's like, she found a really nice way to ask, like, hey, can you not point the camera directly at me? I'm like, yeah, it's fake. Don't worry about it. Yeah, she did say there's a lot of folks that do like slow down and look at the sign and such, so it's been effective. And the other interesting thing is that watching the traffic patterns and such on the cameras, or in just noticing, we get less and less and less people that are, creeping by in the middle of the night and such, or like walking and like, It's officially our last month here. So it's April 2nd, and we are out, I think, on the 31st. I don't think you get to stay till the 1st. But we'll be out on the 31st, and I'm looking forward to it. So we have our solar project this weekend, and then we'll be gone for about a week and 2 weekends. And then, it's a short period of time that we have left, really, here. And, we'll give a full review on it soon enough. I'm culminating my thoughts, but I think in summary, I am not a fan of RV parks. I just don't like them. It's exactly what I thought they were. And I'm usually a pretty good judge. If I judge something that I'm like, that will not work, or that will, 99% of the time that's the case. Every now and then, though, you're pleasantly surprised by something, and but it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. And unfortunately, like, there's some things where we're like, oh, we're kind of pushing it this month, especially renting. We have a car rental and a hotel that we have coming up. We're using like points for some of it, but it doesn't cover all of it. Plus the RV park, plus hopefully this month we'll have a lower electric bill. But I think the first month was $80. Last month was $39, so a lot lower. And then when a lot of folks are like, oh, should I do solar? Should I, whatever. If you're doing an RV park, or you're fully hooked up, hello. Hi. Oh. Or you're fully hooked up, I don't think it makes sense. If you're like, it's like $40, I'm like, just the hardware. Look at this little cute little Airstream. It looks like a 23 corner bed, 23 CB, or ours was a 23D. Looks exactly the same. That's cute. But if you're hooked up, though, I don't think solar makes a whole lot of sense at all. Just, but just hardware, which is another factor, right? Another expense. Like, kind of going through all the mental expenses that we've had, is like the solar hardware. We're going to have to buy wire and a few connection pieces, right? In the grand scheme of things, it allows us to be independent. Basically, all of the hardware and such that we need for our solar panels, everything will be paid off by the end of summer, fundamentally, if as compared to being at an RV park. But I mean, realistically though, we could have just cut our stay short and left this month. But it is, we signed up for 3 months. Figured we'll do the full 3 months. And I think it would surprise folks to see how expensive just the little nuts and bolts and things. I'll have to make a little, I'll send all the links. I wish I could just send like a cart, like an Amazon cart. Like, this is everything we spent. But I still think that like the freedom of solar for us, more than worth it. And you can put a price tag on that. However, I think that like if we were to pay somebody to do it, our setups would probably be like on our bus would have probably been in somewhere like 10 grand at least. And we did it for a fraction. No, probably 15 or 20 really. But we didn't get the Victron stuff, so that changes things a little bit. I love that lovebird. But yeah, fraction of that. And this one we've done pretty affordably. I mean, we lucky to pay cash for everything, so that's awesome. But yeah, it's gonna be a tight month, and we have yet to find an e-bike. So I think what we're going to do is just take one e-bike with us. We have to get a new rack, take one e-bike with us, and then I'm trying to think. We'll just until we can find the two perfect bikes, I think we'll just have the one bike. What we're going to do this summer, though, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting thing. So I don't. Oh, look at that big old Paradigm there, and Brinkley. Yeah. we haven't really decided. And part of it is like, okay, Emma doesn't get as much time off as she did like last year. And I work remote, so, you know, pros and cons to everything, but she loves her position, but less time off. So I think even in the summers, so teachers get this is just part of their contract or whatever. They have to take paid time off though as principals. It's an interesting thing. So look at that cute little Baja, little single axle there. That thing has some height to it, hence the Baja, I think. Yeah. So nice little. Oh yeah. Check this guy out. It's called the Campsite Ultra, and I see X9 here, and they have a cool Astro van. That's interesting. I gotta have to look into that. It almost looks like a Forest River product. If I had to guess, I like the little decals. Campsite Ultra. That's interesting. Never seen one like that. Cable-driven slide on the side, but a big old slide. So, I will say it is nice walking around RV parks. And when we were down in Florida a few years ago, it's a weird thing, but we'd go like ride our bikes or walk around some of the RV resorts. Look at that sucker. This is the RV storage spot, I believe it is, and it's kind of interesting. We got a Palazzo here in Montana. I do have a video to make actually about your RV submissions, so I may knock that out actually today or tomorrow. That'll be kind of fun, just to kind of show some of what you guys have. I like those, but yeah, I think I was briefly, I didn't read all of the emails yet. I got a couple. I'd not read them because I wanted to be more of a, you know, I react to them sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think there was somebody that was like, hey, I know you don't like Thor. And I'm like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I think that Thor can always do better, but I think they offer they're price point units. And sometimes that's what folks need. But I think that even at our quote-unquote price point units, you know, unless you're spending $10,000 for a brand new, you know, that's not happening anymore, right? I think that we can expect higher quality, so I think that's okay. But yeah, it'll definitely help to be in May when we're not paying for the RV park. That'll be a big deal. And then, yeah, we've got some big things coming up. You hear all the birds? Beautiful greenery. Yes, we do have some things coming up. A lot of big projects. The poor man's fiberglass, I might just be picking the wrong materials for it, you know, but I think it's also a lot easier. We're not working with a lot of edges from what the projects that I have seen. So if like you do like a sheet of plywood and you PMF that, it seems to work a lot better. But I think essentially the theory though is that the glue hardens, creating like almost like a plasticky shell. Look at all the rigs. Yeah, a lot of rigs out here. A lot of Airstreams. Now, if you're wondering about the geese situation, I know there was one gal that stayed here and she hated it because of because of the geese. That is not really an issue anymore. So we have not had a single bit of goose poop in our site or on our grass or anything like that. They have these little, I think they're called like goosenators, where they basically, it's kind of like a swimming little thing. It's got a little propeller on it, and it's remote controlled. Yeah, there's two Airstreams right here. Kind of remote controlled, and look at the duck. And so they try to keep, they'll run that, I think it even has wheels, it might be amphibious. But they'll run that along the bank and whatever, try to get the geese in there. Oh, what a shot, right? Yeah. I know a few of you guys have said, I love the walk-in talks. I appreciate that. I've been trying to do more live streams lately. I'm not great at them, but I try to do them. You know. Wow. Spring, you can see the signs of spring. These weeping willows are a little more vibrant, you know? These are kind of cool. All the birds, I love it. Two of these guys, this is another international. I love there's a little bear on the, oh, there's a kitty cat. Look at you. There's a little bear on the license plate of this guy. Oh, looks like a 25-foot international. We had a 25 front bed Globetrotter. And that was a nice, it was nice. But we had the white cabinets. I'll tell you, the white cabinets on that thing would like soak up the oils. Yeah. Just gorgeous. Yeah, those solar panels, I really think they're looking pretty good. I'm glad that we were able to get the one a lot shorter, especially this one. Although it's not, it doesn't move, but there's something about it that just, it just looks like it wants to move, you know? Taking these guys for a quick walk. It's nice we can actually let them run out here. And that's one thing to be said, actually, is the maintenance folks here, they do good work. They seem to take good care of the park, and it's not just this one, it's actually here and just up the street. We took a walk through the mobile home park out there. It's pretty nice. I mean, especially for a mobile home park, when like the ones around here don't always have the greatest reputation, you know, conjures up a different image. It's kind of a nice thing. Also, side note, I also got a little wind muff for the camera that goes all the way around, so hopefully that is helping with a lot of the background wind blow, and that ruins the video. I shot another video the other day, actually, with a little bit of bike riding, just around here and going up to get a package and whatnot. The wind ruined it, so that's cool. Sam loves to run though. Oh, they're so funny. It's good exercise running up and down the hill rather than just on flat ground. The other thing is, unfortunately, just by the nature of kind of like my work schedule and you know, Emma having the truck and things like that, these guys haven't gotten to go to the big park, Marymore Park, in a while. So that kind of sucks. So it's nice that they can run here, but they haven't gotten to like swim or, you know, they just, when we're not stationary, they have a lot more fun. There's a lot more life, a lot more to smell, new smells, things like that. And they have a better time, I think. So pros and cons to everything though. Also a little side note. So I went up there because we were trying the Turnabond type stuff, the roof tape, new roof tape. And I'm not loving it. There's something about it, I think that it kind of let go around the edges a little bit quicker than much quicker than I was expecting. And so it's starting to get kind of a waviness. And I'm thinking that what happened was it was perfectly flat, specifically on this one panel. It was perfectly flat to begin with, and seems to have let up, maybe let a little moisture in there. Rain within hours of it being set did not help. Cold temperatures, things like that. So I think we are going to swap that. Might just get more of the roof repair tape. We could just use regular Turnabond as well, but roof repair tape is actually available at Home Depot. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. That one panel, right? Also, a little fun update. Went ahead and did some more trimming on these, so I have a little bit more to do on this one, but once that's all set, I can go in and do like a second or third layer. And not fast to dry, especially it's 50 degrees maybe here. So yeah, once that's all good, we'll go ahead and get some spray paint. That doesn't take too long to cure, and off we go. But anyways, fun stuff. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully the rambling is entertaining for you, and we will see you in the next video. Bye. Say goodbye. You're supposed to say goodbye. Say goodbye. Really? Bye, guys.